establishing the Salah and the importance of it. And so we'll pick off where we left off. The most emphasized of the commands of Allah, and which one is to preserve in the matter of the 5 prayers, along with all the different rulings, requirements, and conditions which have been codified in the books of the Imams. What is obligatory regarding it is to comply with its known preconditions, its agreed upon obligatory actions, and performing the positions of bowing and prostration in the most perfect manner according to the way that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has described it in the authentic report, saying, then he should bow until he comes to a complete rest in the bowing position. Then he should rise until he's standing up straight. Then he should prostrate until he comes to a complete rest in the position of prostration. Then he should rise until he sits up straight. Then he should prostrate until he comes to a complete rest in the position of prostration. Thereafter, sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, do that in all your prayers. Alhamdulillah. And this is the value and the way to take the most value out of the Salah. So not just something that we're doing with our bodies and trying to get to the end of it as quickly as possible, but that's something that we're engaging and giving each position its rights. And when this is not from the letter, this is because I don't want to confuse what I'm saying and what Shaykh Tijani is saying. And the establishment of the Salah as a center of the affair of the relationship between the servant and their Lord is so important, because after testifying that there's nothing worthy of worship besides Allah, and after testifying to the messengership of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we have the Salah. So after that is established in the heart, then we have the Salah. And what the Salah is going to teach us is to have adab. It is adab. So it is not just doing the right thing, it is doing the right thing in the right way, at the right time. And everything has an adab. And this, of course, in the master text of Shaykh Ibrahim Inyas radiallahu anhu, naming it the ruh adab, the spirit of good manners, the spirit of good morals, the ruh of adab, and that should govern all of our affairs. So that's why a servant, if their salah is correct, then their life will be correct. And if their salah is incorrect, then it will be very difficult for them to find rectification in their inward or outer affairs, the religious affairs or the worldly affairs. So that we have the adab according to time. So it is not to pray Fajr prayer anytime, although Fajr is good. 2 rakats of prayer is good. Who can say that 2 rakats of prayer is not good? It's good, alhamdulillah, but it has to be put in its proper place in order for it to be correct, for it to be right. The 4 rakat of Dhuhr, the 4 rakat of Asr. So to have adab with time, the Salah is teaching us how to have adab with time. Besides this, it is having adab with position. So as the Shaykh is mentioning here, that we give each position its due right. So we give the qiyam its right, the ruku its right, the sajda its rights. And so each position you give its rights. And likewise, each position that we find in our life and on the spiritual path, we have to give it its due rights. We see Shaykh Mahy here. Shaykh, are you ready for us? He's muted. Hold on, Shaykh. We have to unmute you. Hold on. Muhammad, can you unmute yourself, or can host? Okay, yes. Okay, yes, Sheikh. We hear you. We're ready for you, Sheikh. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay. What's the question? وقت المربي ولازم إذا شرعت في الذكار الفيديو. Okay. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أولد الخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق والحق والهادي إلى صراط المستقيم وعلى آله حق المقدار ولازم ندبر. Okay, we stop in. Hello?
Yes, Sheikh, can you hear us? I think he dropped out. Inshallah. So we'll continue. I'm sure there's just a tough technical difficulty, and we'll continue as soon as he's ready again. Inshallah. Inshallah, as soon as he's ready again, please just give me a heads up, administrator, so that we can re-engage immediately. So we're mentioning the adab of prayer and how the prayer teaches adab and how each time has its right. So how to have adab with time. Also, how to have adab with position, that we are in different positions in our life. For example, there'll be a time when a person is a student. There's another time when a person is a teacher. There's a time when a person is a son, another time when they're a father. Sometimes a person is a poor, and sometimes a person is rich. Sometimes the person is...
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق خاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق الهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. Yes, he said, when you start performing your wird, remembering Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala in your wird.
Shaykh, the camera is not on, Shaykh. Assalamu alaikum. The camera is not on.
The camera is not on. It's on now? Kaba is the one who's saying that the camera is not on. He believes it's from here. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you fine. We just can't.
Shaykh, it's enabled. It's enabled. You can turn the
It's
camera.
enabled.
Yes.
You turn it off?
Okay, now it's on. Now it's on. Now we see
Okay,
it.
it's on now.
Bismillah.
Yes, talking about the adab.
Shaykh, is on mute now, Shaykh.
It's a mute.
No, we can hear you now.
You hear me?
Yes, yes, Shaykh.
Yes. إذا شرعت في الذكر الوردي. It said if you start reciting your words, have discipline always as much as possible. The discipline, like what is the door of everything, that what Shaykh said in this part also. He said having discipline, good manners, openly and secretly. From that, you will climb, the man will climb to the highest position in this tariqah. That's mean highest position also in the deen. So you need discipline for everything. You need discipline for your time. You need discipline for your salat. You need discipline for your zikr. Imam Shafi'i radiallahu anhu, he said, I stay with Sufi people, but I benefit two things from them. How to have discipline with the time. Because they said, Al-waqtu idha lam taqtulhu qatalak. He said, the Sufi, they said, the time, if you don't benefit from it, if you don't kill it, it will kill you. So to kill it means to benefit from it. And the other things, he said, your heart, if you don't engage your heart with truth, it will engage with crazy things. He said, these are the two things that he benefit from staying with the Sufi people. So the Sufi, they said, As-Sufiyu ibn waqtihi. They said the Sufi is the son of his time. That means all what he's supposed to do in the time that he's doing. Because you have to put your program things, the more important that you put the first before you do the second. And that's why Shaykh said, "Adubun fi zahirin wa batinin," to have adab in and out, openly and secretly, that from that the man will reach to the highest position in this way. Also, he mentioned, "Istahdiranna shaykhaka al-murabbi." You put the pictures of your guidance, your sheikh. You imagine that you are in front of him and his sheikh also, without any doubt, and all what they need from that to have adab, because that will guide you to reach to feel that when you're making your zikr, your presence with your sheikh, you know, anytime you're with your sheikh, you do adab as much as you can. So if you're doing your zikr, like, imagine that your sheikh is observing you and your actions, you can get beyond that to make it feeling that you are in front of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you do that. That also is part of adab, because you do it the proper way. Now, if you are walking and you show that your supervisor seeing you even from the camera, you do what you do in the proper way. And that will help you just to get to maqam al-ihsan. And the Sufi, all what they do is part of ihsan. When Jibril came to Prophet, asked him, "Akhbirni anil Islam," what is Islam? He mentioned 5 pillars. "Akhbirni anil Iman," she mentioned Iman. You believe in Allah, you believe the last day, you believe the decision all come from Allah, good and bad. You believe the books, you believe your hellfire and paradise. And when he asked, "Akhbirni anil ihsan," what is ihsan? He said, "An ta'bud Allah ka'annaka tarah." You worshiping Allah as you seeing him. "In lam takun tara, innahu yarak." If you don't get to that, make sure that Allah is seeing you. So both of this maqam, if you worshiping Allah as you seeing him, always I say, as you seeing him and he's seeing you, because you don't have eyes to see. If you're able to see, you make sure that Allah is seeing you. If you don't get to that, you make sure that even if you don't see him, he will seeing you. That's what they call hudur, to be present for what you're doing. So imagining your sheikh with you, and his sheikh with you, that will guide you to get to what they call hudur. That's why he mentioned walazim al-hudura. Be present always, and sukuna and calm. You know, when you do your zikr, you don't do it walking or, you know, do any other things. So if you can do it with present and sitting, even if you can face qibla, that all that is not obligation for your zikr, but it's more complete. Because in this tariqah, it said only when you reach 7 of Jawharat al-Kamal, that will be obligation for you to sit down and read it. But of course, Allah mentioning Allah qiyaman wa qu'udan wa ala junubikum. It says mention Allah, either you stand up or you sitting or you laying down. So you need to mention Allah in all your actions. But you do certain zikr, at least you have to sit down and be calm, you know, and quiet, and do it the proper way. Because if you have a meeting, important meeting, you off your phone. So your meeting with Allah is your zikr. So make sure you off everything can take you away from what you're doing. That's what they call hudur. But the Sufi, they said, even if you don't have hudur, if you are not present in your zikr, but keep doing the zikr. Don't say, I do this, but my heart is not here. Just do it. Make zikr. Make sure you make zikr. If you couldn't make it even the best of the way, make it. Because if you make zikr with absence, that can help you. How will help you? Because you mentioned Allah, Allah mentioned you. So if Allah mentioned you, that is another situation of your journey to Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. So make sure that you mention Allah. Make sure your tongues always mentioning Allah. Abu Hurairah, when he asked Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, something that if you do it, you will go to paradise. He said, La yazalu lisanuka ratban bi zikrillah. Make sure that your tongue wet all the time with mentioning Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. But if you can't do it with the hudur and sukun, that is more perfect. كذاك خلوة تعين حين. Also, to be exclusions, sometime that he said, sometime that can help you. Because he didn't say always, because if you stay exclusion always, maybe you leave some duties, you have to go to work, you have to do something. But if you have certain time that you just be alone to make zikr, also do that, that will help you. And Shaykh Ahmed Tijani in Jawahir al-Ma'ani, he said, if you used to be in exclusions every day, even if the time that you make your lazim, you will see Allah help in all your affairs. So try to do that also. And if you test that, you will love it. You will love it and it will help you, because mentioning Allah, that's what I say, is the meeting, like meeting with your Lord. So you have meeting with Allah, Tabarak wa Ta'ala, how you look to other things, how you think about other things, how you engage with something else. وَاطْلُبْ مُرَبِّيًا خَبِيرًا نَاصِحًا. He said, seek for a knowledgeable sheikh for you to educate you, for murabbi, who can make tarbiyah for you. Tarbiyah is many educations, but the real tarbiyah is the sheikh who can help you, educate you to the levels that you know that Allah is only truth, is Allah. The real sheikh is one who can guide you to reach to know the oneness of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. So he said, if you look for a sheikh, make sure you have a sheikh that who knows the things in and out, and a sheikh that anything he give you, he do it to advise you. Even if he asks you something hard, it's not just to make it hard for you, or to show that he has a power to tell you something to do, but all what he's telling you to do is advice, is something good for you. Kamila irfani, complete in knowledge. A sheikh that his knowledge is complete. He knows Allah and complete knowledge. He knows Allah by his characters. He knows Allah by his names. He knows Allah by his essence. And he is not just majzub, that who witnessed the oneness of Allah, but as the Arif is higher than Wasil. When they say Wasil is somebody who rich, but the Arif is somebody who knows Allah, and with all that, he see the things, all the things, even if it's know that it's not true, but he gave everything what he deserved to have. Likewise, Shaykh Ibrahim one time, when he said that he saw Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam several times, and Shaykh Ahmed Tijani, sometimes they talk to him directly, sometimes they send somebody to him and said, go back to your life in Kosi. He said, what was our life in Kosi? He said, we was in Kosi sometime that we don't need nothing. We don't look for anything. We don't like nothing. All what we need is mentioning Allah day and night. They don't have time for anything. Ibn Sayyid Ali, he mentioned that time one of his uncles who come to Kosi to take him back because what they heard, they say, oh, these people, they just follow that sheikh. They don't make ibadah, they don't. So he said, the uncle, when he come to see him, they stay 3 days in Kosi. He don't have even time to speak with him because they are in praise, they are in the wazifa, they are in the farming, they are the drus, studying from sheikh, all this. So when he about to leave, he said, let me go with him to talk to him. And the guy said, what he heard about you and what I see is very different. So my advice for you, don't let anybody between you and the sheikh. That Kosi was very hard because people, they don't have even something to eat. But after that time, everybody who used to be in Kosi, they miss Kosi. Even Sheikh Hani from Mauritania is one of the people. His grandfather is Sheikh Muhammad al-Hafiz. He used to come to Sheikh Ibrahim, ask for hadiyah, but he gave him hadiyah. Sheikh Ibrahim, anybody come, if you say I'm Sharif, he give you. He don't clarify if it's true or not. Practically, if somebody from Sheikh Muhammad al-Hafiz. So when his friend, Muhammad al-Nahwi, he's the first one who come to follow Sheikh Ibrahim. So when he come, he wrote a letter to Sheikh Hani. Sheikh Hani, when he read the letter, he couldn't sleep. Someday he go to his father. He asked him, I want you to give me tarbiyah if you can. If it's not, give me permission to go to Sheikh Ibrahim. You know, that time is nobody can understand that because Mauritanian, they have Islam, they have the Tariqah before Senegal, the Arabs, all this. His father said, oh, it's not nice you leave our Khalifa, because that time they have a Khalifa, Muhammad Said, is grandson of Sheikh Muhammad al-Hafiz. Also, is one of the people even who give ijazah for Sheikh Ibrahim. But he gave him ijazah, he said, I just want to be among your silsila, so you remember me in your prayers. And he gave him some advice. He said, my father chose me as a Khalifa. I was the youngest son of him, but I consider all his children as my father, and they consider me as the Sheikh. So Sheikh Hani's father told him, this is not nice. You leave our Khalifa and go to follow somebody in Senegal. He said, okay, let me go to see my uncle. So when he went to his uncle, he tell him, I want you to give me tarbiyah, or you give me permission to go to Senegal to Sheikh Ibrahim. The uncle said, go and don't forget your uncle. Even me, if I can't go, I will go with you. So he came to Kosi in that he used to come as a sheikh, now he come as a murid. He's going to the farm and all these things. After that time, he remembering Kosi in his poem. Remembering Kosi in his poem. And he said, I wish I be in Kosi with my beloved Sheikh Ibrahim. Ajaban duna Kosi, kayfa julusi. He said, I'm wondering how I can stay a place that is not Kosi. Wa fuadi wa man uhibbu bi Kosi. And my heart and whom I love is in Kosi. وبه في مدينة قد كان أنسي وارتياحي وراحتي وأنيسي. He is the one I used to enjoy myself with him in Kosi and in Medina. And that Kosi, nothing was in Kosi that time. If they call for food, if you come before anybody late 1 minute, the food is finished. But they wish to go back to that place. And Sheikh Ibrahim said, Prophet Sallallahu Sheikh Ahmed Tijani, and they send some people sometime to talk to him, go back to Kosi. He said, yes, because we were to be in Kosi that the time that we don't need nothing. We don't like nothing. We don't try to have anything. All what we need to mention Allah day and night. But now we go to the point that we love something that we know is not true. You're afraid something you know is not true. You're looking for something, it's not, it's not true. He said, this is look-alike incompleteness, but this is complete. So the first hal that you don't need nothing, just mention Allah, that is fana. As fana is more pure, but the baqa is more complete. Because with only fana, nothing will happen. So you look to yourself. Sometimes you have time that even if people they praying, you just put your hand like this just to show adab, but you don't need nothing because what you have in your heart is enough for you. That is the station of fana. But the station of baqa, you look for something, you try to get something, you try to improve your knowledge, you try to have more money, you organize your time, you have nice house, you have all this, is not true. But that is more complete. Yes. So if you have a sheikh who have more complete ma'rifah, like what Shaykh Ibrahim said, insanun marra alayhi al-fana'u fi dhatillah. Somebody who ever passed to the station of fana in Allah's essence, wa sifatihi, and Allah's characters and his names, wa waqafa lil qiyam bil wajibati, and do his best to do all the obligation, wa ijtinab al manhiyati, and avoid all the forbiddens, wa ahabba ahl Allah, and love the people of Allah. And the first of them is Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Those people, they are the door of Allah. You love them. He said, if you do all these things, you are Arif. And he said, it's like somebody who put all the sea in his tongue, but his tongue is out because he feels thirsty. So the Arif will never say that I have enough, it's finished. So I was looking for that, now I have enough. The more you know Allah, the more you love him. The more you love him, the more you know him. The more you know him also, the more you love him. So you will never stop. If somebody will reach to the level that he will stop, he should be Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But he never stopped looking for Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. He never stopped praying. He never stopped reading Quran. He never stopped making nawafil, the night time. He never stopped doing good things for all the creation of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. All this because he loved Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. And he know Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. So Arif is a look-alike somebody like that. But if you say, oh, I feel okay, I'm satisfied because you drink 2 cups, 3 cups, the Arif will put all the sea in his tongue. He didn't say even he drink it, because if in the tongues, that the water is still there. Because if you put in your stomach, you can't say the water is gone. So that's why you need more. But he said, Yahsul bihara, you put it in your tongues, but you still bring your tongue out because you feel thirsty. You need more. That's what he said about himself. وإن دهش الأقطاب يوما بمشهد أقدهم لسحوي لاشتداد روائي وأشرب من سحو المحبة ساقيا ولا السكر يلهي بل أديم سقائي. Shaykh Ibrahim said, if the aqtab, sometime Allah can make manifestation that they don't know what is the adab they have to give to this manifestation. He said, I will guide them because I'm not drunk. Why? Because when you drink so much, you stay like alive and seeing and know what's happening. So that is Arif. You drink, take all the sea, but you still feel thirsty. What Mursi Abil Abbas Imam al-Busayri, the poem that he wrote about his Shaykh, Mursi Abil Abbas, and Imam al-Shazili. He mentioned too about Imam al-Shazili. He said, قَدْ نَالَ غَايَةَ مَا يَرُومُ الْمُنْتَهِي. He reached to the level, the highest level that the people who finish in their journey to Allah, they reach to that level. He get all that, but if you seeing him worshiping Allah, you believe that today he start doing what he's doing. That is the complete Shaykh. That Shaykh Ibrahim was like that. All his life, he making his salat the way he's supposed to do it, his nawafil, reading Quran, serving the servant of Allah, Tabarak wa Ta'ala. That's all that is the sign of Ma'rifatullah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. It's more complete. He said, look what Shaykh, who is the Kamil al-Ma'rifah, who have complete knowledge in Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. And he's the leaders, and is a salih, is a good, righteous persons that you follow. If you're looking for a Shaykh, look for a Shaykh like this. And he said, Malikhu nafsaka, submit yourself to him. And don't think, be like a dead person in front of him. This party is very hard to be like a dead person in front of your Shaykh. You don't ask him why you do this, why you do this. So why you don't want me to go? Don't go, you don't go. But if you choose a Shaykh that he described in the beginning, you don't have problem with this. Because if there's somebody who knows what he's doing very well, and he's the righteous person, he Arif, he's know Allah's complete knowledge, and he fear Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, he will never ask you something that will harm you. All what he asks you to do is a good things. Even if you follow him, he will never call you to something wrong. But if you just go follow any Shaykh and put yourself in his hand like a dead person, he will take you to hellfire. Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when the Sahaba used to come to him, he teach them Islam, teach them Quran. So some people, they come and he put somebody, this is your leader, follow him, whatever he asks you, you do it. So the guy, when they go, he say, okay, Prophet said to follow me. They say yes. So go collect some wood. They go collect some wood. Say, okay, fight. They fight. He say, okay, go inside the fire. They say, no, we follow Prophet not to go to the fire, to be safe from the fire. So if you have somebody like that, don't follow him. Don't follow him. So make sure before you put yourself, dedicate yourself to a Shaykh, you make sure that is the real Shaykh. He's not going to call you to something that he's not going to put himself in that. So he said, but if you have a Shaykh like that Shaykh he mentioned, don't oppose him, even if it seems that what he is telling you is wrong, because you can believe that is wrong, but it's not wrong. Like when Musa and Khadir, they go together, that journey, everything, three things that Khadir does, Musa was believed that is wrong. But in the end, when he explained to him, he's the murid, he was wrong. But the Shaykh, what he was saying, was correct. It's like that. So be always the follower of your Shaykh. He said, even the mistake of the teachers is more upright than the correct things that come from the murid. For those who knows the maqam of the Shaykh. He said, don't look behind, don't look to any other one in this world. Consider the walls, nobody in this world except your Shaykh. From that, you get real benefit from that Shaykh. He mentioned one of the Shaykh Ahmed Tijani's murid. One time he was in the Zawiya, cleaning one Zawiya, and the Khadir alayhi salam came to him. He just want to test him, he said, and he just keep doing his work. Khadir asked him, you don't know I'm a Khadir? He said, of course, I know. I know you're a Khadir, but the love that I have for Shaykh Ahmed Tijani, he didn't leave any space in my heart for anybody else. So the Mashayikh, they said, keep knocking one door, they will open all the doors for you. That's why if you have a Shaykh, it's like the doctors, even the doctors, medical doctors, that's just for your body. Your doctor can tell you, take this medicine, don't take any other medicine, and you follow that. That's not mean the other people, other doctors, they are not doctors, but this is your doctor and this is your remedy. So you take it. You don't need to take any other if you want to be safe. Also, following a Shaykh like that, it will be like that. You follow him the way he mentioned. So from that, of course, you will get a real benefit from him. You deserve to have secret from him, but if he just want to give you something that is not for you, you cannot take it. Allah guides all of you. Allah benefits you to this path. Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa sallam.
Thank you, Shaykh. Jazakallah khair.
You're welcome.
We know you're very busy. Thank you for taking time for us. Shaykh, could you also renew our tariqah?
Bismillah. Okay, I renew for all of you. Barakallah fikum.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you, Shaykh. Thank you, Shaykh. Alhamdulillah. So this concludes our class for today. Alhamdulillah. And we will continue either with Shaykh Mahy or with the letters that we're taking from come next week. This is presented by the Ruhu Adab group. I'm sure most of you are a part of the group, or if you're not a part of the group, it's an online WhatsApp group where we come together for communal dhikr, for classes. This is one of the classes. There's classes every day of the week, including Maliki Fiqh, Sirah, going through the text of Ruhu Adab and other classes. Forgive me for not having all of them listed in front of me. If you would like to be a part of the group, you can email ruhuadabgroup@gmail.com. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's ruhuadabgroup@gmail.com, and we can get you connected, inshallah. May Allah bless you, and may Allah have mercy on you, and please forgive me for any of my errors. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.